What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Redline Reactions. I'm Evan, and yesterday I got my first taste of Dimash. And please let me know if I'm not pronouncing that right. But holy smokes, this dude is wild. His range is insane. It's wider than I think anyone that I've ever heard before. And just on that one video alone, in less than 24 hours, there were over 400 comments. And I believe his fan base, they call themselves the Deers. So thank you, Deers. I really appreciate it. And there were a bunch of songs that were requested, but the one song that had the most votes and the one that had like twice as many as the second place song was the one that we're going to be checking out today. And that is Stranger. So let's get into it.
Спасибо. Спасибо огромное.
Well, he does have a pretty
А
deep
теперь
speaking
прозвучит
voice.
новая песня. Примеры.
Oh, what is that? Oh my gosh, it's right on the tip. It starts with a like a Q or a K. I know it's a Kazakh instrument. Shoot, let me know down in the comments what that is. But it's right on the tip of my tongue. I love that sound. I could be completely wrong though, but I'm pretty sure I'm on the right track. That was really cool.
You crown far as I can see. You crown underneath my feet. Stranger in a stranger's land. You chance to know who I am if I have the strength to begin again.
Whoa.
Somewhere
Whoa.
in my heart,
Oh my God.
times I wonder, though these
Even the pianist is like, bro. Oh my gosh. So I don't want to sound like a complete broken record from my first reaction because like obviously I've heard him before because I just watched SOS yesterday. So I know that he has this big range. But what still kind of catches you off guard is like you can know that someone has a really deep toolbox. It doesn't mean you know what tool they're going to pull out. And he caught me off guard on that one.
find in my heart in ancient times I wonder,
That's so low.
these valleys I have find them on this hills.
Faces from us and holding by their memories. I've said lost, I've lost, I feel them in me sing. You go far as I can see. You crawl underneath my feet. Stranger in a stranger's land.
Okay, I'm so sorry for pausing it right there, but and I never want to try to offend anybody. So if I'm completely wrong here, I apologize. I'm not trying to cause any problems, but just hearing, well, first let's start with the music. I obviously I've heard something along the way that kind of made me think that that was a Kazakh instrument. I know he's from Kazakhstan, but I don't know if like the actual music here is traditional like Kazakh music. The first thing that I got, and it's just the way that it registered in my brain, but there was something in there, like, you remember that Arabian Nights song from Aladdin? There was something in there, just a few notes that made me think of that. That was like, I love that. And then his voice, we're going to go back, but when he flipped up there, he was singing in a way that, this is oddly specific, but think about an older fat Italian guy with just the most amazing voice. All right. And I want you to think about that and tell me if that's who you can also hear kind of making this sound that Dimash, please help me out on that one. But it's just so great. It's new every single time. It's new, not even every single song. It's new like every 20 seconds. Also, just to be absolutely clear, I was not comparing him to an older, fatter Italian guy. It was just a sound that I heard that I love. Some of those old, just Italian singers. And it just put an image in my head. So let's just shut that down right now. Jeez.
New crown far as I can see. New ground underneath my feet. Stranger in a stranger's land. New chance to know who I am if I have the strength to begin.
Look at his stance. Nice wide base. Good God. Okay, I want to go back because I rewound it, but I still don't think I really did it much justice. Where are we at? We're right there. Let's go back. Yeah.
Димаш Кудайберген!
Игорь Крутой!
Браво!
Спасибо огромное!
Спасибо большое.
Okay.
Люблю вас сильно, пресильно.
Okay. He's unbelievable. That last note was almost 20 seconds long. Like full power, 20 seconds long. I did see I did see a bunch of people saying that he does some sort of training like underwater for like breath control. Amazing. And I can see why. You kind of need that. Uh Again, I mentioned it yesterday, but listen, the like by themselves, these sounds that these notes that he's hitting are unreal and damn near impossible for 99.99% of the population to ever even approach. But the transitions from one to the other to the other to the other are otherworldly. I don't know how he does that. And that's what really fascinates me, because like in raw athletic performance and strength and conditioning, having raw athletic power by itself, fantastic. But elite performance is judged by someone's ability to not just possess these tools, but to be able to access them at any time for exactly the reason that they want and get a desired result every time. And that is what he's doing. Right? Yes, he does use techniques that are extremely basic in day one, like his positioning with his legs, like with just I bet you a lot of his vocal warm-ups are pretty basic and rudimentary, because you don't need the fanciest thing. You don't need the craziest thing. A lot of times, all you need are the things that your kindergarten music teacher taught you. Now, granted, I'm sure, I am positive, he does a bunch of other stuff on top of that. Okay. But I bet you he does, like when I worked with a voice coach, the first thing we did, this is probably going to sound wild on this mic, but the first thing we did was we just did like little scales. It was just, I bet you he does that. Right. But the dedication to what he's doing, and just how, and what I really like is that in SOS it was him and a microphone, right? It was him and a microphone. Here it was theatrical. It incorporated sort of more native to him, like instruments and sounds. And also, please tell me, like, is that music traditional Kazakh music? If so, tell me more. And then the sort of, not choreography, but the performative aspect of it, and like the people kind of dressed like monks moving out of the way and holding the candles, and it sounded like they had a backing track as well, or they provided backing vocals. So cool. So I've noticed, like, this looks, what was the significance of this event? Was it like, does he have, I forget what it's called, like a residency somewhere? I feel like he doesn't, but does he ever perform stateside? Is he just in like Europe and Asia? Because I'm sure I'm not the only one who wants to see this guy live, because he's pretty phenomenal. Yeah, let me know what other songs of his that you want to see. I already saw, I have an ongoing list from that first video. There was like Fire, and there's a few others. Maybe I'll put it on a post on my page. But let me know what else you want to see. And please give me some more information on him and that instrument, please. Because This is driving me crazy. I think it starts with a Q or a K, but could be wrong. And then, yeah, if you enjoyed this, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. It means a lot to me. I'm doing this first and foremost to connect with you guys, not to strike it rich or anything like that. So I love doing this. I love the engagement, all the likes and the comments. I read every comment, right? If you see a response from me, it means I read your comment, all of it, not just glossing over it. Please subscribe. All right. It helps me know what you guys want to see more of and what resonates with you. And at the end of the day, it's all about you. So thank you again for stopping by, and I will see you next time.